motion, yeah.
I can second it,
Yep.
and then I'll do the rest of it.
All right, we're close.
We are close.
I don't know where Lynn is. Did you say don't start without me?
Yes, ma'am.
Spalding usually says the same thing. He's probably listening. Nothing, but we're close here. It's a hot mic.
Scott,
How are you?
how are you?
Hi, Scott.
Gentlemen?
How are you?
See you.
Good morning. Call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Let the minutes reflect. Board of Works member Gross is absent, so there are two of us here this morning. With that, we'll start with the approval of the minutes from the February 17th meeting. I looked through them. I saw no changes. I know George was absent, so I will make the motion to approve the minutes as presented.
And I will second that.
All right, further discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those
Aye.
opposed? All right. Welcome to our visitors. The snow has not started, so hopefully we'll all get out of here just fine. All right. Let's dive right into new business. First item would be to open seal quotes for a wastewater department Ford F-350. And we have one
Yep, just one.
from
City Ford.
City Ford in Columbia City. And the amount, 2023 Ford F-350 XL 4x4 Super Cab, $63,360.25. All right. You want to look at this?
Yeah, we'd like to,
All right, we'll take it under advisement, and then
maybe at the end of the meeting.
end of the meeting will be fine. Don't let me forget.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Item number 2 is a street closure request from Greg Steffi at the Kosciuszko County Historical Society for a Vietnam Veteran Tribute. Is Greg here?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Paula? I'm just kidding. So the event's April 21st. Just closing Indiana between Maine
They've done this.
and the alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done
Yeah, it's like it's a quarter block of Indiana Street between Main and the alley.
it. They have insurance and everything.
And this will be, the event is from 4 to 9, and it is a tribute to the Vietnam veterans. I don't know much about the event, other than I'm sure it'll be a good event, and hopefully the weather will be fine. So, any questions on that?
No, I'll move we approve the road closure.
All right, I would second that. Further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 3 is another street closure request for the Warsaw Breakfast Optimists Club. I see Brent's here. This would be the City of Lakes Car Show on, looks like May, is that May or?
Yeah, that's May 21st.
May 21st.
Yeah.
All right, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah. So it's going to be the same that we have done in previous years. We haven't changed it at all. It's just going to be pretty much Center Street from Lake to Indiana, Indiana Street from Main to Market, and Buffalo from Main to Market. And I think we're requesting 7 a.m. Usually event starts around 10. 7 p.m. was when we had it scheduled to open, but it should be open well before that.
Okay. Again, that's May 21st. Okay. Dustin, you'll be able to sweep the streets night before. Thank you. I just thought I'd bring that up. With regards to the street closure, excuse me, you have any comments?
No, I don't think so. It looks all in order.
It's always a great event. It's a fun event. Lots of folks come downtown. Again, hopefully the weather will be good for you all as well, so.
Thank you.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Tell your dad that we both said aye.
Mayor, don't forget, we need to have some kind of a government official contact for the Kosciuszko Homeland Security people and the Weather Service for these events. So I noticed that Emergency Services has been approved, but who was at Emergency Services that was approved, and who should be the contact person?
Okay, we will follow up with that
Okey-doke.
because that's a new requirement from the local Homeland Security. It makes sense. Okay. Item 4 is Warsaw Evangelical Presbyterian Church is going to do their second annual Easter egg hunt across the street at the courthouse lawn.
Right.
Yeah. Morning, Paula.
Good morning, how are you?
You look happy and well rested.
Well, retirement's fun.
All right. I would not know.
No. So we have already cleared it with the courthouse to have our Easter egg hunt all around the courthouse lawn, and for the safety of the kids, crossing the streets and, parking and things like that. We would like Center Street right in front of here, and then Buffalo closed, but we'll keep the intersection open.
Oh, here, right here.
Yeah,
Is this what you did last year?
yes,
Okay. And that's on a Saturday. That would kind of
from like 11 to 1.
butt up against farmers market doesn't start until
It hasn't started
May.
yet.
That's right. So
Not
it'll be
until May.
Saturday, April 8th, from 11:30 to, is that 2?
Right. So we've
Okay.
cleared it with the diner and with the coffee shop, who are the only two businesses open on those blocks. And we have their approval. So we just would appreciate yours. So we'll need barricades for both of those streets, and then maybe some extra trash cans so that we can pick up after the kids.
Okay. Questions?
No, I'll move to approve this with
All right.
the caveat with Lynn's suggestion that we do get approval as we're supposed to.
And I would second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Hope you have a good day.
I hope so too. Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks, Paula. Good seeing you.
You too.
All right, item 5 is pay application for Anchorage Road project. Looks like right away. Is that engineering, Jeremy, or?
Yeah, this would be for right-of-way services
Okay,
in the amount of $1,230. We've acquired all the right-of-way now, so I think this is kind of one of the latter ends of the right-of-way acquisition services fees, but
all right. Questions?
No, I'll move to approve the payout.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? And then item 6 is engineering pay app.
yep, this is pay up 34. It's 80/20.
Same project.
Same project, 39/74/85. We're getting real close to getting this project ready for letting. There's a 6-month right-of-way clear, so it could be ready for letting later this year. It's scheduled for a 2024 letting, but if NDOT has time and space, if we have it ready, it could go sooner.
Okay. So 2024 year begin June 30th of 2023. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that construction would start this year?
No.
No, it'll be next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
at best, it will be next year. Yeah.
Okay. When did they approve that project?
18? I
Yeah,
think.
okay. All right, I know you've been working diligently, and that's not a reflection on the work we've
Yeah,
done
this
in
is
the
actually
city.
a
It's-
really complicated project. If you've ever been down that road, you can see all the utilities. There's double utility poles on each side, so a lot of utility relocation. No storm infrastructure's out there now. This will include storm infrastructure, so it's
You had
not
some
just
right-of-way
a
challenges, too.
right-of-way challenge, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, those projects typically construct, what, 3 to 4 years after they're
They,
they're announced
they
or
like to have them on a
designated.
4-year, it's scheduled to be like a 4-year.
Yeah.
But that would be going to letting, so like best case scenario, it would have went to letting in 2022. Because of our right-of-way issues, they had asked us to move this project out a year because of the amount of right-of-way that we had to acquire. They didn't think we would get it done within the time frame, so that's why this has been bumped another
Yeah.
year.
Okay, appreciate it. And I know how hard you've worked on this. I know what a challenge that project is. Just sometimes frustrating when you get a project approved, to think, wow, this is gonna happen. It takes a while, so. Questions?
No?
All right. Well, I would approve that pay app.
I think we did, didn't we? Flat pay? Or did we not? I thought I missed.
Yes, we did. You're correct.
Okay. I thought
I'm looking at
we
it.
did.
I
I think we asked him a question after we approved it.
Got it.
Thank you, Jeremy.
I got confused with the two, the Anchorage Road. All right, item 7 is the Wildman agreement.
This up next is the renewal of our 3-year service agreement with Wildman. I've brought them here. I'm going to ask them to come up and give you a briefing on what they've maybe changed and been doing. They went around to the different department heads and verified what their needs and such are. And our current agreement does expire in just a few days, actually. So this is good timing if you are able to approve it. So I'm going to let Wildman speak on this.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. I'm Brooke from Wildman, and this is Dan. As Aaron mentioned, the Wildman agreement, service agreement with the city of Warsaw is coming up on the end of that term. That previous agreement was a 3-year agreement. We did meet with each of the departments and discuss their current service and needs for any revisions to that service. The new agreement that we're proposing is another 3 years of service, with the first year at a 12-month price freeze, and then for the year 2, a 3% price increase, and year 3, a 3% price increase. In previous years, we have given our free insurance, and we will continue to offer the free insurance program for the uniforms. Can you think of anything else worth mentioning? Oh, something I do want to mention is actually, in previous agreements, we actually have never had a price increase before. So in year 2 and 3 this year, we are proposing a 3% price increase.
Until we did have 1% in 2021, 2022. So, but I went back as far as 2014, and we had not had an increase since 2014.
Aaron, you've gone through this.
Yeah, I've reviewed it, other than the price increase, everything is very normal and expected, so that would be the one thing and I feel that's understandable.
Sure.
That's the one difference in this contract that we didn't have.
I know you've solicited comments from the department heads as well.
Yeah, correct, everybody seems to be satisfied with the options that they still have with Wildman's, and no one had any problems with continuing forward
Right.
with Wildman's.
Okay.
Service they provide.
Okay, great. Questions?
No, I assume Scott glanced at this, right?
I did.
Yeah. Well, we've had a good working relationship. They seem to be fair on their pricing and do a good job. So I will move to approve the Wildman agreement.
Okay, I'll second that. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron, thank you for your work on this.
Yeah.
I know that's a little more involved contract, and appreciate you soliciting the department heads on that as well. Item number 8 is city had a deadline on the 28th. We went ahead and applied for the Indiana Opioid Settlement Matching Grant. So we're here after the fact because of the very short window we had to apply for this. I'm sure if there are concerns, it could be canceled, but I didn't feel that it was, I felt it was important to go ahead and apply. So with that, I'm going to have Chris Fansel talk about what we plan on utilizing this grant for.
So the grant, when we added it all up and it being for matching, I think it was 137,000 plus funds from that opioid settlement. And as the mayor said, it was a quick turnaround. We kind of made that decision, we're notified and everything on, I think, a Wednesday, and by Tuesday, that grant was due. So we had to really get that out there. But what we plan to do, we actually worked with Warsaw PD's leadership, talked to Brian and Scott and those guys, and kind of figured out what we could use this money for, therefore using it for the CARES program to really extend what that is, put more money in that. We are getting ready to start the process of hopefully hiring another person using the RCorp grant that we got to really start pivoting to the substance abuse area. And we felt this grant was a great way to make that work even a little more seamlessly by pursuing this money. So I think PD's looking at some testing equipment that they're trying to figure out what that looks like, and I'm sure you'll hear more about that as that progresses. We're looking at just extending our coverage time, our reach, and just more education and things of that nature. So that's what we want to use that money for. But I'm happy to answer any questions that come up. We, as I said, it was a pretty quick turnaround. So we're actually doing this backwards. We usually go to the territory board first, but because of just, we want to be respectful of your time and theirs, so we're doing it a little bit backwards than what we normally do.
And you got the application signed and off to
Yes, sir.
Indianapolis. So
Yes, sir. Interestingly enough, we got an email back from them this morning that said that their spreadsheet they wanted us to use for budget numbers was too small for them to read, even though it was theirs. And so we had to enlarge it and send it back. But yeah,
Okay.
all that stuff got taken care of and turned in at the appropriate time.
I think the CARES program started as a mental health initiative, and we quickly learned that you can't really separate the mental health issues from the addiction issues. And as the opioid settlements have come down, it's given us a great opportunity to expand what the services that we want to try and provide with CARES. And I'm just thrilled at how important CARES has become. We've taken our time with it, we've gone slow, and this is just an example of being able to pivot to just the broadened needs that our community's got with the obvious support of FSSA at this date and the opioid grant money. Chris is doing a fabulous job, but there's a ton of work to do, and certainly if we're given this grant, it'll help quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Any final comments?
We did, one of the parts of the grant is you had to get letters of support or collaboration for the program, and I think it says a lot when we got letters from K-Code, Fellowship Mission, Warsaw Police, that we're all on board with moving this forward as a group. I think this is going to have to be a collective effort, and I think that's where we're at. So I do want to say, I'm pretty proud of that we've developed those great relationships. So.
Questions?
No, kudos to your work on this. It's been
Thank you.
good. I'll move we approve permission to apply for the grant.
Okay, I would second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Chris, did they give an indication when they're going to let us know on that?
May 1st.
May 1st? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item 9 is the new hire change report. You'll note our new fire chief is down on that report. He's scheduled to start work on April 2nd. Just wanted to point that out.
Yes, and we also have 2 new probationary firefighters that have started. So the fire department is actually manned up at their current level, so they are good to go for right now. We got a couple retirements coming up that we're going to start planning for, but other than that, they're in good shape. Also have a a laborer at the Parks Department that was a replacement for someone who left us. An administrative assistant in building and planning, that was a replacement, and then a promotion for our systems administrator out at the police department.
Questions?
Would you explain exactly, I mean, and not, to get in much detail, but what that position is for the police department?
Sure. The police department has a ton of technology that they use out there, with all the technology that's in the cars and on the police officers themselves. We've had one person out there taking care of all of that IT equipment for the department. So we needed to add a supervisory position so we can add an assistant to that role. That way we'll have two people out there to take care of IT. It's mainly is IT stuff out with the cars and on the bodies. They have a lot of requirements for record keeping with their video and everything else, so it takes quite a bit of work on the technology side.
And the qualifications are there for
Oh,
you
yeah,
to do
yep.
it, right? Yeah, okay. No, that was the only question I had. Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll move to approve the new hire change report.
I will second that. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 10 is travel requests.
Yes, we have 4 requests, all within, 2 for the police department, 1 Officer Kyle going to the Indiana Traffic Safety Conference, Officer Nethway going to RISE 23, Mayor going to the Art and Community Development Pilot Workshop, and then Becca from Building and Planning going down to Bloomington for the Indiana Supportive Housing Institute.
I will just say that the Indiana Arts Commission is putting on they've invited, I think, 3 or 4 communities to this pilot workshop, and I'm taking a couple members from the Arts Commission down. There should be some significant benefits from attending this workshop, potentially in the form of a grant. I don't know that for sure, but we're going down to continue to further the work of the Public Arts Commission, Warsaw Public Arts Commission. So,
Sounds good. I will move to approve the travel request as presented.
I will second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny, appreciate it. Justin, you've got a supplemental engineering agreement with A&Z on the Center Lake Recreational Trail.
Yeah, so I've submitted for your approval supplemental agreement number 1 for the Center Lake Recreational Trail. This supplemental agreement became necessary when we asked our consultant to do some additional work related to the project. It's been reviewed by the city engineer and myself, and we just recommend that you give approval for this agreement.
All right.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second that. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Justin. Dustin, Ace Pest Control contract.
Yeah, here for approval on our service contract with Ace Pest Control. This includes street and the office, main shop, and the mechanics garage. Contracts for $67 a month, as well as a spring and fall exterior treatment of $116 each time.
Questions?
No, I'll move to approve that.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thanks, Dustin.
Thank you.
And Brian will speak on behalf of the stormwater contract with Lilly Center for our educational programs that are required for.
This is an agreement we've done, I don't know how many years now, with Nate and his group, the Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams. They take care of a lot of our requirements for public education and outreach. And so that's what this agreement is for.
This has been a very popular program. Lilly Streams, Lakes and Streams does a great job of educating our school children. And as I mentioned, this is part of our requirement to to maintain our stormwater permit. So this is a requirement that we are very much assisted with by Lily to fulfill. So
Nice to have them local here.
it sure is.
I'll move we approve the program.
I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
And then you've got still expanding that plant, number
This isn't so
128.
much for plant work, but for work they've done in the collection system, getting all of our lift stations online with our monitoring system. It's work that's been completed and we're recommending payment.
All right. George, any questions? There's a lot of paper with this
A
one.
lot of paperwork there, but looks important. I'll move we approve.
All right, I will second that. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Brian.
Do this now.
Oh,
or
yeah, let's
after
go back to item number 1.
Yeah.
Do you have a recommendation for the Board of Works?
Yes, we reviewed it, it meets the requirements. I wanted to let you know, I did send it to 2 other vendors, and both of them said they couldn't
respond.
meet the requirements and timing. So we are recommending approval of that purchase for that truck.
All right, any final questions?
No, you're fine with it?
Yep.
All right, I'll move we approve.
And I will second. All in
There is
favor?
a spot on the first and second page to sign that.
Okay,
Thank you.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 15 is a walk-in. This is a contract for a website and app, and I'll let Chris talk about that.
So I apologize for that being a walk-in, but we just got that contract, I believe, yesterday. So what we want to do with that is a contract with 180 Digital to do the website and app for the resource program that we've been working on through the CARES program. That is what we applied for and received the grant from the Kosciuszko County Community Foundation of $7,500. So we would have a cost of $300 for the development of that, and then there'd be a $50 per month maintenance fee that goes with hosting that. So we're asking your permission to start that process. We've been told we're going to basically have to jump in line with several other projects, so the reason I wanted to kind of get that going is so that we could start the process of getting that put together. We are on a little bit of a timeline with the grant money, so we need to make sure we're following their rules as well as far as spending that $7,500 that they were gracious enough to give us.
It's a very important goal of the CARES program is to provide resources for those mental health concerns, those mental health issues, those folks that are having concerns, a resource for them. And it's been a real community effort to put this together. And Chris, again, jumped on it knowing how this is one of the first things we try and do once we identify concerns is then what resources do we have locally to try and help these individuals? And this puts everything together and puts it on a website that's available, maybe to even hopefully prevent some of these things from occurring. So with that, I'm certainly in support of this.
Good. I'll move to approve.
All right, I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Chris,
you.
thanks for all your work. No special claims, Lynn?
No, no special claims.
All right, George, I trust you've given your usual magnifying glass to the Board of Works
Look over
claims
that.
dockets.
Got one question answered, and so if you don't see anything, I will move to approve the claims docket as presented.
All right, I would second that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Any other items carried forward? All right, are there any visitors, questions, comments?
Jason Brown.
Jason?
We submitted a request for the St. Patrick's Day approval, but maybe didn't make it
It apparently isn't on the agenda for some reason. I'm sorry. Do you want to bring that forward?
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. We got time sensitivity here.
We do, and it's something that's been done.
It's been done in the
years.
past. Sorry, Jason. So it's basically closing Buffalo between Center and Main, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
this was done last year?
Yep. So, same thing we've done every year. Of course, it's a perfect day to ask for an outdoor party when we're going to get 12 inches of snow. But we're doing it on the 17th, which is the Friday of that week. This year we have our event partners are going to be Winona IT, 180 Digital, which we just heard a second ago. First Federal Bank, Kedco, Main Street Warsaw, Maple Leaf Farms, us, 110 Craft Meadery, Orthopediatrics, Sylvius Insurance, The Lab, and WRSW. Those are, so over the years, it has gradually expanded. Last year, our attendance was just over 700 guests, which was awesome. So the more guests we get, the more vendors want to be involved. So on the food side, we're going to have Ledgeview, which is the brewery outside of town that's going to join us. We have a baking company called Mad Batter Baking. Us, Shenanigans, and The Diner are all going to serve food. Courthouse Coffee, Mad Anthony's, Hop Lore, and Ledgeview are all going to be on the beverage side of the event, along with us as well. So we have some pretty good community involvement. We've spoke to the police department here in town, and we're going to have a police officer on site from 4 o'clock to midnight. We are looking to start this event a little earlier than we have in years past. This year, we're looking to start it at noon. The reason that we're looking to do it at noon this year is because it does fall into March Madness. And we kind of went back and forth with this dilemma of how do we get people to come out for St. Patrick's Day if they're a committed March Madness person. So we actually partnered with a company to bring down a huge mobile TV screen. So we're going to be able we're going to be able to air all of the March Madness games.
My
And we're going
goodness.
to start it at noon. So our expectation is that early crowd is going to be a little bit more March Madness crowd, and then in the later evenings it'll become a little bit more of the St. Patrick's Day crowd. But it should be a really enjoyable program. We're really excited to do it. This is our 6th year attempting to do it, although we had 2 years that were more or less inept based on weather. Of course, March Madness or not March Madness, excuse me, St. Patrick's is a 50-50 on the weather. You know, we either get 75 degrees or we get 12 degrees.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit of a shot in the wind, but we're hoping we get decent weather, and if we do, it'll be a very nice showing.
So the closures, the parameters are the same, right?
Parameters are the same. So in years past, we've always shut down the entire Buffalo Street sector right there. The only thing is that our tent exposure was only about 2/3 of that street exposure, and this year we are going to expose ourselves to the entire footprint of Buffalo in front of us.
I actually stopped down there last year. It just was amazing, a nice crowd. They seemed well behaved.
And one thing that we're doing this year as well is we're going to try to have a few more things for the all age group. We went out and bought like jumbo Jenga and, you know, just some things to preoccupy some of the smaller humans that might attend.
Well, I went last year as well. I expected, and everything was just fine. So.
Yeah. That's good.
No, it's a great event. I'm sorry we did not get that on the agenda. I don't know what happened. I don't believe there's any concerns. It's been brought to the public. This has happened before. The only difference really here is you kind of extended the event timing.
Yeah.
So you're starting at noon through 10 o'clock. So it's basically a 10-hour event.
Yep.
The road closure will start in the morning. So you've talked to all the vendors in that area.
Yep.
Majority of them participate, don't they?
Yeah, which is a nice little negotiating piece.
Yeah.
Hey, I know we're going to have to shut down, but we get to make money otherwise.
Okay. Well, you did a fabulous job last year, and hope the weather is fine. Get this bad weather out of the way today, and that's what, 2 weeks from today?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, what do you think? Do you have any concerns?
No, as long as we, once again, let emergency management know and, you
Yeah.
know, to make sure.
Is that something that would be on us to inform?
No, we will have to get, we'll have to get a name, a contact name, if there's a concern. If there becomes a problem, they want,
Sure,
they want somebody they go right to that can get the word out.
And
And I think
that'll
they're
be,
gonna give that person also like a link right to the National Weather Service for.
So they can keep an eye on the sky.
TV weather.
okay.
Yeah, it's
Not a
new-
problem.
New requirement.
Would that be you?
Yeah, that would be.
Okay,
All right, so we'll do that.
yeah.
Other than that.
Well, they need they want a government official.
Oh,
Are you going?
I'm not going, but it seems like you went last year.
It
I might go
sounds-
for lunch.
Sounds like we have our government official.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Put my name on that.
But it'll be-
I suppose we'll have to go now. No, it's gonna be fun. It'll be nice to have it spread out, because I know it was packed last year.
It was a little
Weather
tight.
was
That
gorgeous.
was the number one thing we heard last year. They were like, why didn't you take up the whole street? And I'm like, because I don't know if we've got 30
Yeah.
people coming or 500. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a guess. And then all of a sudden it happens and you go, okay, we didn't take up enough space.
Well,
I
we-
just looked on the 38 forecast, it's supposed to be 42 and 33% chance of precipitation.
Perfect.
That's
Let's
perfect.
go. That's
Perfect for
ideal.
leprechauns.
Yeah, we watch the weather every day and then we just don't talk about it because it hopefully will keep changing. But
All right. Brian, do you have any, I mean, I know we always keep an eye on that, make sure we contact dispatch so they know it's closed.
Yep.
We
had officers there last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
I saw him there last year.
All right.
So Dustin, you're all right with this?
Need to have
All right.
Maybe we'll just close City Hall like for an hour or something.
Thank you.
the game
George, what do you
We have
think?
a
games
board
start
meeting
promptly at
We
noon.
do.
Yes, we
And the
do.
TV that we have can
Don't wanna
play
wait till
like
then to approve
all of the games that are live at one time.
Okay, this has been done before. Looks like they've done their due diligence, so I'll move to approve the street closing as presented.
All right, I will second that. Any final comments or questions?
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
Well, we thank you for
Thanks.
putting an event on like that. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, aye.
Those opposed? All right, you're in.
My administration will kill me if I don't take those back. I can send copies over there.
Yeah, do that,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, you should send it.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll have copies sent over.
thanks,
All right,
Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
And sorry about the mix-up on the agenda.
No problem at all. Thanks for squeezing me in.
All right. All right, any other questions or comments? All right. Nate?
So I know some of you, but my name's Nate, for those of you who don't know me. And I just wanted to bring your attention to something that I saw yesterday. So I was crossing Winona Avenue where Union Street meets it right after school around 3 o'clock. And I saw, a little girl that was coming on her way home from school almost get essentially pancaked by another car. She was halfway walking across the street and the car wasn't paying attention, didn't see her, and almost ran her over. Was probably going, closer to 50 miles an hour there too. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention of that's an issue of concern there. It's a very high traffic intersection for both cars and pedestrians because you have all the schools there, you have the apartments that are there down the street, you have a bunch
You
of
said Winona and Union.
yeah, so West Winona Avenue and then South Union
West
Street.
Winona, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So I'm trying to think what's around there, but I know that's where the right turn only to cross.
Right?
That's where that's at. So, but she almost lost her life yesterday, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention of something that probably needs, some sort of situation needs looked into as far as how to improve safety there for kids walking across the street just trying to get to school.
Speed crossing guard there.
Well, our Traffic Safety Commission has members of the school staff on it, and that would certainly be an appropriate discussion for that meeting, so make sure it gets on the agenda.
Okay,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, I appreciate you bringing
Yeah,
that,
thank
Tucker.
you for bringing that
Thank
to
you.
attention.
All right. Okay. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank you. Make sure that it's a busy, probably, can't kind of see what's coming from the west. It's a tough spot.